Okay, so this is the part 2. You know, my last 2 videos, my mom watched them and she didn't understand anything, but she did give some feedback. But a table itni gandi padi hai, thoda saaf to kar leta. So before I start, I'm gonna do just that. Yeah, so who's a good boy now? And by the way, cleaning for me means just transferring it to different places which are not in the camera's vision. So most of the stuff has gone to my bed and in these shelves. To get the full flavor of this video, please watch the first part first. I'm going to be using 2 words, types and traits. The first video tells the difference between the two, okay? Let's start. See, first of all, trait is a reality. Type isn't. You know, I am very careful with the word reality because in a way nobody knows it. But here, when I say reality, I mean something that cannot be refuted. Let me give you an example. 3 people sitting in a car going down a highway and they see an accident. So the level of shock of all 3 would be in a gradient. One of them may go, oh. The second one may go, oh my. And the third one may go, oh my god. Fuck shit. These are 3 reactions, 3 different degrees of shocks. This is a range. Can you really categorize them? And even if you do categorize these 3, that would be arbitrary and subjective. Somebody else would categorize them differently. Somebody else would say first 2 are in one category, third one is different. Some would say these 3 have 3 different categories. And this is why the trait, the shock is a reality. It is right there and you can observe it, you can see this. But type is something created. It's not exactly real. It's just in the mind of whoever is analyzing it. Second, types are limited, traits are unlimited. For example, I conduct my MBTI test and I turn out to be an ENTJ. Okay. And then there is another ENTJ, okay? We are both extroverts, but me, despite being an extrovert, I really crave for my private time. I do. And him, not so much. Now, how would you account for this difference? ENTJ 1, ENTJ 2? What? And then what about emotional stability? Like now, I am much more emotionally stable than him. So what do we do now? ENTJ 1.1 and ENTJ 2.1? What? MBTI, which is one of the best personality type tests, it uses just 4 dimensions of traits. Just 4. In the previous video, I told you in the trait approach, there is this test called 16PF, which uses 16 dimensions. 16. So, think about this. MBTI uses 4. If it used 16 trait dimensions, you know how many personality types we would end up with? 2 into 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 2, which comes to 65,536 personality types if we used 16 dimensions like 16PF. Now good luck understanding them. So again, in order to understand a personality in detail with all the unique characteristics, only trait approach can be used. With traits, you can describe the personality in higher and higher details. Types will be limited and can only give you a small picture of a personality. Third, types are not needed to make a change. Okay, so a girl comes to a counselor and says, I am very awkward around new people. To solve this problem, do I need to label her socially uncomfortable? Do I need to do that? No. I know the problem. I can immediately start working on her social skills. How would calling her socially uncomfortable help her in any way? If anything, it will just make her feel weaker. The personality types by nature are so wide in scope that you can't work with them. You can't really operate on them. In order to make concrete changes in your personality, in order to solve problems, you need more and more and more and more specifics. You need to boil down to the smallest of the traits. Big definitions, big labels are not useful. Fourth, types make people inflexible. Once they figure out their personality types, they start to take pride in it. And if not pride, they start to own it. They find ways to identify with it. It becomes a club or a cult of sort. Like we are Capricorns, we are Aries, we are INTJs, we are ENFPs, the possibility of changing now becomes smaller. They feel that now they have understood themselves and this is their destiny. The mind now feels, why should I change? This is me. Or I won't be able to change. This is, well, me. I prefer the idea of changing flexible and dynamic personalities. We are so much better off with undefined personalities. And just think about it. Changing a particular trait seems so manageable, but changing a whole personality type, almost impossible. Fifth, you make types, it will lead to stereotypes. You are in a way just saving yourself from the trouble of knowing each and every person individually. That's what you're doing. Who has the time to know everyone, right? So let's just group them and give them one personality. Simple. And now we know them. This is laziness. And the same with psychological personality types. You just want a quick assessment of who the person is. And for that you create types: extrovert, introvert, leader, analytical, adventurer, etc., etc. Do you know that we pay a huge cost for this laziness? I'll tell you why. Think about this. All the religious intolerance, racism, fanatic nationalism, where do these things come from? They stem from the idea that this is us, it is them, and us is different from them. That's where it all starts. And this division between us and them, what is this? That is the whole model of personality types. So, these were my major points. Now I have some concluding lines for you. Types box you in while traits open you up for exploration. With types you feel as if your actions are determined, while with traits you feel that the levers are in your hand and you can adjust them to reach the desired personality goals. The core model of types is we are similar to some and different from others. And the core model of traits is that we are similar to all and different from all. Similarity and uniqueness at the same time. My final suggestion to you is stop labeling altogether. It's not worth it. Stop giving types. Stop grouping people. Stop stereotyping and stop generalizing. The better approach is you must give each individual their fair chance of displaying their own personality. The reality that I see is each person is a new personality type. Hence, we have 7 billion personality types on earth and growing as I speak. Each personality type is unique and independent. Treat them so. Thanks for listening and you are welcome if you benefited from it. P.S. My goal for creating these videos is that more and more people can relate psychology with their real day-to-day lives. And if you have similar goals as me, I invite you to join me. And secondly, and almost more importantly, right now I'm a student of MA Counseling Psychology, which also means I'll be looking for a job in a couple of years. So dear employers in the field of mental health, consider these videos my CV. Do hire me. Salary negotiable. Bye-bye.
ऐसा देखा नहीं खूबसूरत कोई जिस्म जैसे अजंता की मूरत कोई जिस्म जैसे निगाहों